Whole lot of news today, everybody, with Illusionist Strife just behind us, DZ02. Then we have Dimensional Transcendence with D-Police and Dayusha and all that stuff going to be coming to us. So I'm super excited for that. But we also have Lyrical Monastery support that's also coming out. This next couple of months is going to be chock full of Cardfight, and more Cardfight. Hey everybody, J.J here. Let's get into it. So the Lyrical Monastery or Sparkling Stars booster set is going to be a game changer. New mechanics, new synergies, completely new strategies. We're going to be getting it in September. It's going to be a way for us to give old archetypes like Hasaret, like Kyoka, all those older archetypes and older ride lines that didn't really see a whole lot of support in the festival booster. They're going to be getting a whole new variation based around their core mechanics and themes. So I'm excited to review some of those later on when we get more information on what they do exactly. And of course, Kyoka has their restand already, which is energy based, and Hasaret has their unit that allows them to superior call one from the drop zone. That's also exciting. But we're going to be covering some of the Prism encounter cards that we've gotten, and I'm so excited to see them. There's also coming next week, we'll also have a look back at episode 1. They're going to be giving synopsis of episode 2. They're also going to be looking into cards for set 4, which is going to be the Destined Showdown, which is going to be 2 cards, going to be strengthening Razel and Blankmeyer. So just with them getting their first set support, 2 sets later, you can get more support cards. Right now, Razel is doing really good in English at the moment, like even post set 2. Obviously, it's going to have the other archetypes like Velano, who's getting their support currently, Blankmeyer, that's also recently going to get released in set 2 right now, and even with Dimensional Transcendence, that they are also going to have the heavy impact into the meta potentially, especially with the Arakai retrain, the Sotojoji retrain. We also get a couple of new ride lines as well, like the Sacrifice Glass, and get Venus Luquier, and I don't know how impactful those are going to be potentially yet. Also, some really cool Divine news, Divine Scene news and information for all of you fans out there for it. Divine Sea's character models for their units have been released, so you can take a look at them right over there. You can see what some of the Divine units look like for every of the nations that are going to be represented, so I'm very excited. It's very surprising that we actually have 2 Dark State Divine users, but then again, we also have 2 Stoichea Divine users. Again, it's going to be a matchup for the century, since it's going to be a Destined Showdown. We're also going to get some news and information about what the new season is going to look like, what the next couple of episodes are going to be, and there's also going to be a FR promo pack showcase. That's going to be you're going to get qualifying packs of product based on how many you spend during your anime conventions, official Bushiroad events, and stuff like that. And I think it's like for every 20 you get a promo pack that has a chance to have any of the allotted promo packs, the allotted triggers in there. So you have crit fronts, and draws for each of the units that I got showed in the Will+dress and Overdress series. Everybody's in there for all of the nations that they play and represent in. There's also Soju Doji promos, there's satellite promos, there's the witch promos as well. There's also, for some odd reason, Bowmains in there too, Kriff. As promo options, you have Mythiarch, and you also have the Griffo Gila as promos. So there's a total of 34 different type promos that you could potentially unlock by taking part, which is super cool. And we also have a Izumi, the Misaki's VA, the one for Brandgate, where they have a comment put down, I moved to England. One of their comments were, at least, is that I moved to England. It became difficult for me to participate in Japanese animation works. However, I have been waiting for the day when I can involved in Vanguard again. Senka is so sharp-tongued that you wouldn't imagine it from her visuals. I was surprised by her gap. Gap moe, like the idea of a character could be so far removed from their identity. I mean, for people who don't know the concept, I mean, obviously most of your anime fans, so you're probably going to know what I'm talking about, but for the people who don't know, gap moe is just like, oh, I'm quiet, I look quiet and reserved, but I am upbeat and peppy if you talk to me. It's like a complete different divide. So that's what the gap is. When I saw the script, but looking forward to that kind of role she will be playing from now on. My heart is burning again as I'm able to again utter the line stand up Vanguard as Senka. Fantastic. First, we have the Shizuku Bermuda Triangle Cadet Shizuku. I'm very surprised it actually brought her back again. She doesn't really do much with prisms themselves, so it's still really cool to have it. So maybe if we do happen to get a Shizuku retrain, a grade 1 or grade 2 retrain, possibly also grade 3, this gives it a supplementary identity that we already then have in the format, which is really kind of nice. So then now for the grade 1, Mermaid Idol Sedna is a grade 1 Bermuda Mermaid, Bermuda Triangle plus Lyrical Monastery Mermaid. It's a dual nation, so possibly premium applications if you wanted to. When this is wrote on by a Aqua Soul Blast 1, look at the top 7 in your deck and then choose a grade 2 or grade unit card from among them, reveal it, add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. There is no discard cost, there is no cycle cost that you need to look for, there is just you plussing. All you have to do is Soul Blast 1. This is a fantastic card. This is something that we needed way sooner. And looking at the top 7, it's almost impossible to miss with this. Even if you're finding another grade 2 card, even any of your Prism cards or anything is just fantastic. You can find a Persona Ride, you can find in a combo extender. It's just awesome. Then we have Top Idol Aqua. It's a encounter retrain from way back from the first iteration of her. She was a 10k vanilla, then she became a very good utility card in premium and V premium as returning a rear guard back from your hand, from your rear guards to your hand, drawing a card, discarding a card, and oftentimes you just discard dead cards or triggers. It's fantastic. And then when this unit is run upon by a grade 3 mermaid, so the race needs to be mermaid, so this is really good because it could work with other archetypes that are Chris Rain. It allows you to look at your top 5 and then choose a grade 2 or greater. It's still good utility. It looks at top 5. So the difference between is whether or not you want to run Sedna or not. Aqua is independent of herself. She doesn't really need Sedna. So you could possibly run the Astasized grade 1, any of the other grade 1s that give you good utility. I would like to possibly use the Astasized grade 1 and then Aqua in my ride line, because then at least I still look at top 5 and add a card. I could possibly whiff, which could suck, but you're more likely to hit than not to hit, and I think that is fantastic. And if I have to discard one of my grade 2s, I at least want to be able to have a way of being able to get it back, and it's overall just a pretty good plus. It's way better than the Chris Rain card. The Chris Rain ride line, for sure, for me at least. And then we have Prism Image Vert. So I'm currently on the fence whether or not this is gonna be a really good card or very impactful into the meta, but let's get into it first before I give my final thoughts on it. Act once per turn, if you did not ride with this card's ability this turn, Soul Blast 1, choose one card from your hand with the same card name as this unit. Ride this as stand. If you rode a card, draw a card, and then choose one of your Vanguard, it gets plus 10k until end of turn. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, it gets continuous. All of your front row units gets plus 10k instead of 10k power. So instead of the Vanguard getting plus 10, your front row gets plus 10. So you can use it on your opponent's grade 2 turn, your Vanguard gets plus 10, and you can still pressure with a little bit of a cute little multi-attack. And then when this unit attacks, Counterblast 1, choose one of your rear guards, return it to hand, and choose a grade 3 or less card from your hand, and call it to rear. fantastic card, phenomenal card. Potentially gives you a pseudo persona ride. You can also go into Labrador if you want to later. It gives you a Prism name, which the deck kind of needed. The deck kind of needed them. We'll get into Clear and Rosa in a second. We also got some other supplementary cards as well that work specifically with Vert. So now they kind of want to give Vert her own identity outside of Labrador. I personally feel you could kind of mix the support a little bit if you want to. Let's see. There's a new card called Perfect Shape Parfonia. She's a grade 3 unit. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Vert in its card name is placed, so cost, put it into your soul. So if you use the main phase skill to act, put in the soul, etc., drawing a card, it's kind of nice. Look at the top 5 cards, choose one card from among them, call it to rear, and shuffle. So you can call any of the Prism cards, which, you know, some of the Labrador support is also pretty nice already. Then Diva of Deep Blue, Fontiel. That is a grade 1 support card, continuous. This unit gets 5k each time your grade 3 or greater Vert in its card name is placed this turn, so possibly during your right phase and also during the act skill. Yeah, if you didn't ride with this card's ability, so you could persona ride and then use this skill. Oh wow. Okay, so you could also use the order to persona ride, and then you could also use this skill to give an extra +10, so you could potentially have 20k to your front row. That's kind of nasty with it. And why I think that could also work is due to some of the other following support you'll see in a second. Then we have Prism Image Clear. When this unit is placed on a rearguard circle, discard a card from your hand. She's a grade 1. Discard a card from your hand, search your deck, or drop. Vert Soul Blast a card. So you could possibly Soul Blast your other Verts. It's so good. So it's kind of self-sufficient, which is kind of nutty. She becomes a 4 attack deck. It's so wow. Search your deck or drop zone for grade 3 with grade 3 card with Vert in its name, reveal it, put it into your hand. If you search your deck, shuffle your deck. During your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Vert in its card name, this unit gets 5k. So if we do happen to get some future support for Vert, or they might give her a Stride deck set or Stride support as a second wave of support for Vert, who knows. Hopefully no crest. Any case, then we have the grade 2 Rosa to round up the trio. Prism Image Rosa is a grade 2 normal unit, 10k, 5k shield, 10k power, 5k shield. When this unit is placed on rearguard, choose a grade 3 card with Vert in its card name from your hand, and you may reveal it. If you reveal the card, or if you're or have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Vert in its name, this unit gets 5k power until end of turn, and a cost. Kind of +1, draw. And it stacks. It's not once per turn. So if you control a Vert, kind of +1, draw. Or if you have a Vert in hand, control kind of +1, draw. So you can keep on doing this as much times as possible, as much times as you want to. The deck doesn't seem to use a whole lot of Counterblast. And due to the fact that she has a secondary effect that says, when this unit attack hits, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, revert in its name, counter charge 1 and return this to hand. So it does look to me that this seems to be your beater, your attack pressure unit, and your potential counter charge. I don't like the fact that a counter charge is attached to a on hit, because then it's most likely that your opponent is probably going to just like guard this with almost everything as much as they possibly can to keep you from being able to like abuse it. But you do have access to cards like Yuika, which can return it back to your hand anyway. So whether or not they do it or not, it completely doesn't matter. It's fantastic. And obviously Yuika can also soul blast a card. And then we have Mermaid Idol Ellie. She's back as a DPG. I still feel like any premium player should probably pick this up just in case. To be honest, it's DPGs I feel like are premium viable sometimes. Not all the time, but majority of the time. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this. Next week, we do get a preview of the deck set that's going to be coming out in Harry and Night Rose. We do get some card reveals for the Destined Showdown, and on Thursday we also get a quick sneak peek of a new support card for Flange and a grade 2 support card for Bruce for the Diabolos archetype. So hopefully we maybe get to revitalize the OG Bruce or Vehemence, or even Unrivaled, possibly. And special shout outs to our community translator, Kairos Darkblade, or Kairos Sukume. Thank you for them, of course, and of course also thanks to Chris, because they does also some translations as well, and also thanks to Boucher for launching these out as quickly as they did to give us some translations for our own benefit, for us to theory craft these cards and decks already.